welcome to our channel. So in today's lecture, we're going to cover the basics of gas chromatography with the help of this flow sheet diagram. So what is gas chromatography? As the name indicates, like chromatography, in any type of chromatography, we're basically concerned with the separation of component of the mixture. So in gas chromatography, how it is different from the other types of the chromatography, I will cover just some of the basics and then we will see that how the gas chromatography work. So in any type of the chromatography, we have seen that there is a mobile phase, there is a stationary phase. So in case of the gas chromatography, our mobile phase is a carrier gas. There's inert gas like helium can be used. Then the stationary phase is mostly solid. In this case, silica that is embedded in the form of the coil that can be used as a stationary phase. So the basic principles of the gas chromatography is same separation of component of a mixture. Now, what are the advantage we get from the gas chromatography? Gas chromatography, one of the basic advantages is that it is used to analyze such component of the mixture. It is used to separate the component of the mixture. That mixture, if the mixture is a volatile, then the gas chromatography is the ideal thing that can be used to separate. No, there is one additional advantage of the gas chromatography is like how much of each chemical is present. First, it tells us what chemicals are present in the mixture. Then it also tells us how much of each component is present. That we will discuss in the next lecture when I'm going to explain the spectrum that is obtained from the gas chromatography. So for the analysis, like any type of an analysis, like in quality control, when they are analyzing the component that are present in any type of the medicines, uh, so first of all, they have to prepare their sample and keep it there. Then there's a carrier gas, as I've already mentioned that can be helium can be used as a best carrier gas, and it act as a mobile phase. This will act as a mobile phase. So the carrier gas, this is the flow control. We will select the flow and it depends upon, it should be mentioned in the specification which flow rate you have to use. Then there is our sample injector. The sample is being injected in this a column. This act as a stationary phase. Stationary phase. Mostly it's silica embedded inside that coil. And then after passing through this sample, it goes to the detector that gives us the result in the form of spectrum, and the spectrum show what are the chemicals and how much of each chemical is present in that. Then the waste gets into the waste, whatever the bin that we have provided for the waste. So this is the basic principle of the gas chromatography. In the coil, the stationary phase, the coil is inside the thermostatic oven. So the temperature inside this coil is maintained. Whatever the temperature requirement, we have to adjust the temperature according to that. Now, how the separation occur? That's the major phenomenon, because we have said like it tells us what are the chemical present in that mixture and how much of each chemical is present. So separation occur like when the sample passes through this coil, that is split into different chemicals, different into its components, into different components. In different components travel through this coil with different rate. Some have the greater affinity for the stationary phase, they travel with a less speed. Some have the less affinity for the stationary phase, they travel with a faster speed. And as different component reaches to that detector, it will comes up the result in the form of the spectrum. So from that peaks, how many peaks we are getting in the spectrum, we can see that this much type of the chemicals are present. Then from the area of the peak, we are able to understand that how much of each chemical is present in that component in that mixture. So in this way, the whole gas chromatography work. In quality control, what they're going doing is that they are analyzing the sample, is the different type of medicines that they are analyzing, and the spectrum they are obtaining. If there is any impurity, it will tells us that there are different chemicals. So from that spectrum they would be able to understand that if it's the right medicine, it's in the right quantity. So that's how gas chromatography is used in that quality control analysis. So that's it for today's lecture. If you have any question, you can ask in the comment section.